Well, it seemed like all was going swimmingly for the most part in the realm of Battlefield, prepping everything for the upcoming project that's very likely to be called Battlefield 6 until yesterday. Yesterday, it was officially announced the reasoning behind some of the design decisions of the game's classes, something that is both surprising but also kind of welcome to hear about the design philosophy of these types of things this far out in advance, giving a solid look at what is officially going to be happening to the whole public rather than just those who may be in labs and under NDA. But it's nice to hear the plans before they even announce a name because, well, frankly, there's time to change things at that point. And that's what the majority of the Battlefield community is wanting based off these design elements listed. In an official article published over on their Twitter and in their Discord, the Battlefield team shared a Battlefield Labs community update, The Class System Part 1, where it said, "We envision the future of the Battlefield classes to be a series of interconnected systems and fundamentals that shape your role on the battlefield, while granting you the freedom to customize how you execute that role. Through Battlefield Labs play sessions, feedback, and data gathered, we aim to strike a balance between defined roles and player choice. The class system is defined by two main components, customizable and class defining. The customizable components empower players to explore and push the boundaries of their roles within their chosen class while also still adhering to the expectations of the class. The class-defining components are designed to enhance pick-up-and-go playability and reinforce the expectations of your class identity. For customizable, there are subtopics of weapon loadouts, which are fully customizable weapon loadouts, allowing you the freedom to play the way you want, where you can play to the strengths of your class by using your signature weapons or easily switch to any other weapon to meet the needs of your squad. Class gadgets will allow you to carry 2 gadgets onto the battlefield, tailored to each class and its specific role. Recon aficionados may specialize in intelligence and counterintelligence with class gadgets including deploy beacons, anti-personnel mines, and laser designators. Training, their philosophy with this is to offer a series of traits that can be unlocked during play to enhance your ability to perform your role. As you engage more in a match, you'll gradually earn flat stat bonuses and more to support the effectiveness of your role further. With throwables finally being the last thing detailed of customizable, where their approach is to prioritize enabling each class to effectively fulfill its role by providing tailored throwables. Class defining, this is your signature weapon, where each class has one of these categories tied to their class identity, which, when used, enhances their role on the battlefield. For example, using the same ongoing test subject, the Recon class, if you select a weapon from the sniper rifle category, you'll benefit from increased breath holding duration. In contrast, an assault player choosing the same category will not receive this bonus. DMRs, carbines, and shotguns remain viable options no matter your class, but don't benefit from any signature weapon bonus. Signature traits provide passive bonuses tailored to optimize your role on the battlefield. For instance, a Recon player automatically spots enemies while aiming down sights, encouraging the use of weapons that complement this specialization. Signature gadgets are unique and singular to each class with an aim for you to always have access to a tool that fulfills the role of that class, separate from what you may choose as gadgets within your loadout. And the default weapon packages is a preset combination of attachments and visual customization for each class to be combat ready, with the option for further progression and personalization. They then said what's next is that the class system and its individual components will be available for testing within Battlefield Labs in the coming weeks, where participants of Battlefield Labs can get hands-on with these features to discuss and provide feedback. Then, following further play sessions, they said they'll be back with another community update, likely a part 2, to unpack class components in more detail and share learnings based on participant feedback. The final part that detailed was this announcement is related to content in development through Battlefield Labs and may change as we listen to community feedback and continue developing the next Battlefield title and beyond. We will always strive to keep our community as informed as possible. So, a lot to break down here at this one. Of course, as we said in the intro, I think it's nice that we are seeing these types of things and their sort of approach to this far out in advance. Again, we don't even know that Battlefield 6 will be the name of this upcoming game, but it's nice to know this kind of stuff because, well, it should change. This was announced yesterday, and rightfully so. Basically, every reply is like, hey, yeah, you should lock weapons to classes, because as it stands right now, the long and short of that entire thing is that weapons are not locked for different classes. And listen, I get that some people will like this. Some people want to pick up and use any weapon for any specific class, but personally speaking, and seemingly from the entire side of the Battlefield community, this seemingly lessens the effective weight of each of those class selections. I think that that is something that adds the deliberate choice to your gameplay experience as it has in the past, and for that, that's why I find it important to the gameplay. That's why I absolutely want to go to bat for this to be something that hopefully in the future is reverted. Now, I will say the ending of this is definitely important, saying that following further play sessions and the feedback, they're going to share their learnings on what we see in the next couple of weeks. And again, the final thing they mentioned was that it's related to content in development and may change as we see community feedback to continue the development of the next game. So my fingers crossed, huge hope is that this is something that will be changed in time. I really do hope that they are indeed listening here to this, because it just seems odd that like what's leaked so far seems to predominantly be the right way to go. Like, yes, there's definitely some things that I've seen, the sort of infighting between some people like it, some people don't, but like overall, the big sort of picture was that we're going in the right direction with this Battlefield game from what we've seen so far. Capturing some of that classic Battlefield feeling, visually looking pretty stunning, audibly sounding incredible. Like, I actually think that that's probably one of my favorite things from all the clips we've seen leaked so far, is just how many clips where the sound design where I'm like, oh, that's sick. And I'm sure that a lot of people are also like that. But again, predominantly it seems like things were pushing in the right direction. It just seems like an intentional fumble to kind of shoot yourself in the foot with this kind of stuff when the blueprint is right there for what people want to see. Seemingly with all this other content as well, trying to recapture that Battlefield 3 and 4 in a lot of ways, the mold is right there. Yet, it's for whatever reason, this far out, being reverted to having a repeat of what people did not like in 2042. Now, why would this be the case? Honestly, the only thing that I can really think of is monetization. You're gonna see a lot more sales and skins if you can use any weapon at any point with any class. That's just a law of numbers type of thing here at this. Business-wise, logically, yeah, that makes sense. I don't think that it's wise for the gameplay experience, and I think that it's decentralizing class selection and the structure of what makes Battlefield, but that's the only logical reasoning that I can think of. And it definitely is in line with AAA game companies in the past and publishers in recent years, where they're just trying to push as much live service microtransactions as they possibly can to supplement and boost revenues by that much. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. But I do think that if they continue down this road, it's going to be at the sort of detriment of the core gameplay experience. The bright side, the blog post, as mentioned, is they're reacting to community feedback. And we are still, because we don't have a launch time here for this, no beta has been officially launched. We don't even know the name of the game, officially speaking. But it is one of those things that we are still so far out that this could definitely be something that is changed. There's enough time on the calendar to revert these types of changes that even if over the next couple of Battlefield Labs playtests, the next couple of weeks, it takes a month before we come back with these learnings, it is something that if players make their feedback known right now and often over the course of now until this next update, I think it's personally possible we could see this change. I don't know if that's an optimistic viewpoint or if it's something that's kind of like a hopium effect, but it is something in the grand scheme of development, there is time to change that kind of stuff. So I think this is the real first inflection point of the game upcoming. Do they mean it, or do they only want to appear to mean it? 2042 is another good example of this in recent years, and we know how that launched. So fingers crossed this is actually something that they do genuinely mean it, and this overwhelming support for class locks is something that is taken into consideration. Now, we probably won't hear anything about this in the next couple of weeks here. Again, probably at the earliest is when they do this part 2 and they compile their learnings here for what people like out of all of this feedback. So it will take a little bit of time. That this is going to be a lingering question of will they, won't they? But fingers crossed, I guess. So that said, there is an upcoming 72-hour pre-alpha server performance test beginning on May 23rd that, takes those that are already in Battlefield Labs and allows them to play for 72 hours total rather than just a few hours at a time that these have been done in the past. But also they stated they're going to be opening up to a lot more players. So if you haven't signed up for Battlefield Labs just yet, make sure that you are signed up in the hopes that maybe you can end up taking part in this. And as a result, that's more people that then can voice their feedback on these sort of situations directly to the channels that they're taking feedback from for these playtests. So my thing, definitely make your feedback heard. Talk about it in comments of YouTube videos. Talk about it on Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, wherever you end up talking about this game. If you want to see it changed, it is something that right now I do think that there is enough time that you can make that abundantly clear about things that you would like to see change. But anyways, wanted to fill you guys in here. I had a really cool video that I'm excited to share with you guys, probably coming tomorrow now at this time. There's just been so much news in terms of COD, Battlefield, and other stuff we normally cover here on the channel the last couple of days. That's been pushed back by so much, so hopefully it's still relevant as of tomorrow. But wanted to fill you guys in here with the most up-to-date I can possibly be here on this. Not double uploading. We didn't get this up yesterday when this ended up breaking. But anyways, want to fill you guys in. Drop your thoughts down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. And make sure to subscribe for more Battlefield and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have in the community. For now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. Take care and peace.